distinguished President, Your Excellency, distinguished delegates and representatives, today in addressing this session of the United Nations General Assembly, I feel oppressed by a great of responsibility. I feel our humanity is speaking into this august current of life and experience statements from east and west, from the north and from the south, from old nations and from young nations, and from nations newly reopened from a long sleep. I have prayed to the Almighty that my tongue will find those words which are adequate to express the feelings of my heart. And I have prayed also that these words will bring an ego from the heart of those who listen. It is my great pleasure to congratulate the President upon his appointment to his high and constructive office. It is also my great pleasure on behalf of my nation to offer a most heartfelt welcome to the 16 new members of the United Nations. The Holy Book of Islam has a word for us today. The Quran says in my language, "Hai sekalian manusia, sesungguhnya aku telah menjadikan kamu sekalian dari seorang laki dan seorang perempuan, sehingga kamu berbangsa-bangsa dan bersuku-suku, agar kamu sekalian mengenal satu sama lain. Bahwasanya yang lebih mulia di antara kamu kalian adalah siapa yang lebih takwa kepadaku." I might translate as, "O mankind, I, Allah, made you from a male and a female, and divided you into nature and tribes so that you should come to know one another. In truth, those who are most noble before God are those who most are in awe of Allah, and who good works toward Allah." And the Christian Bible too has a word for us. "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men of good will." I will deeply moved in this as survey this assembly. This is the proof that generations of struggle has been justified. Here is the proof that sacrifice and suffering have achieved their end. Here is the proof that justice has begun to prevail and that some great evils have already been punished. Furthermore, as I survey this assembly, my heart is filled with a great and fierce joy. I see clearly that a new day has dawned, and at the sun of freedom and emancipation, the dawn of which we have dreamed so long is already rising over Asia and Africa. Now today, I address the leaders of nations and the builders of nations. But indirectly, I speak also to those you represent, to those who have sent you here, to those who have entrusted their future to your hands. I greatly desire that my words shall strike an ego also in those hearts, in the deep heart of humanity, and that great heart from which has been brought so many shouts of joy, so many cries and sorrow and despair, and so much love and laughter. Today it is Presiden Sukarno who addresses you. But more than that, though he is a man, Soekarno, an Indonesian, a husband, a father, a member of a human family, I speak also to you on behalf of my people. Those 92 million people in the distant and wide archipelago, those 92 million people who have lived for a life of struggle and sacrifice, those 92 million people who have built the ruins of an empire. They, the people of Asia and African continent and the European continent and the Australian continent and the American continent, they are watching and listening and hoping. They see in this organization of the United Nations a hope for the future and the prospect of the present. The decision to end this session of the General Assembly was not an easy one for me to take. My own nation faces many problems, and time to solve those problems is always short. However, this is perhaps the most important assembly yet held, and all of us have a responsibility to the world as well as to our own nations. None of us can escape this responsibility, and surely none wish to. I am greatly desired, and surely I am very sure that the leaders of the younger and reborn nations can make a very positive contribution to the solution of the many problems facing this organization and the world at large. Indeed, I am confident that the man may once again say the new world is called to redress the balance of the old. It is clear today that all major problems of our world are interconnected. Colonialism is connected to security. Security is connected to the question of peace and disarmament. Disarmament is connected to the peaceful progress of the underdeveloped countries. Yes, all are connected and interconnected. If we succeed in finally solving one problem, then the way to the solution of the others will be open. If we succeed in solving, for example, the problem of disarmament, then the necessary funds will be available to assist those nations which so urgently need assistance. 5 years ago, 29 nations of Asia and Africa sent their representative to the Indonesian city of Bandung. 29 nations of Asia and Africa. Today, how many free peoples are there? I will not count them, but look around this chamber now. Then tell me whether I am right or not when I say that this is a time of a building of nations and time to pre-emergence of nations. Yesterday, Asia, there is a problem not yet completed. Today, Africa, and that too is the process not yet completed. For 15 years now, the West has known peace, or at least the absence of war. Of course, there will be tensions. Yes, there have been dangers. But the fact remains that in the midst of revolution involving 3/4 of the world, the West has been at peace. Both great blocs, in fact, have successfully practiced coexistence for all those years. Those contradicting those who deny the responsibility of coexistence. We of Asia, I repeat, we of Asia, we have not known peace. After peace came to Europe, we endured atomic bombs. We endured our national revolution in Indonesia. We endured the torment of Vietnam. We suffered the torture of Korea. We still suffering the agony of Algeria. Is it now to be told of our African brothers? Are they to be tortured once are unfilled? And yet, the West is still at peace. Do you wonder that we now demand, yes, demand respite from our torments? Do you wonder that my voice is raised in protest? We who were once voiceless have demands and requirements. We have the right to be heard. We are not subjects of barter, but all nations with a role to play in this world and a contribution to make. Imperialism is not yet dead. People sometimes say imperialism and colonialism is dead. No, imperialism is not yet dead. It is dying. Yes, the tide of history is washing over its battlements and undermining its foundations. Yes, the victory of the independence and nationalism is certain. Still, And mark my words well, the dying imperialism is dangerous. As dangerous as the wounded tiger in the tropical jungle. Our old Indonesian history shows that clearly. And so, indeed, that's the history of homeworld. We call this something Pancasila. Pancasila, all the 5 pillars of our state. First, belief in God. Second, nationalism. Third, internationalism. Fourth, democracy. And finally, the last sila is the social justice. In common with the majority of this organization, I hate imperialism. I depress colonialism. I tell you this, and I am conscious of speaking now for my Asian and African brothers. The struggle for independence is always justified and always just. Those who resist that irresistible onward march for national independence and self-determination are blind. Those who seek to reverse what is irreversible are dangerous to themselves and to the world. Until these facts, and they are facts, are recognized, there will be no peace in this world and no release of tension. I appeal to you, please place this authority and moral power of this organization of states behind those who struggle for freedom. Do that clearly, do that decisively, do that now, do that, and you will gain the full and wholehearted support of all men of goodwill. Do that now, and the future generations will applaud you. I appeal to you, all the members of the United Nations, move with the tide of history. Do not try to stem the tide. Then it is the testing of those weapons. I know that there is a scientific disagreement about the genetical effect of those facts. That disagreement, however, is in terms of the numbers affected. It is agreed that their disagreement on evil genetical effects have those who authorized the test ever seen the results of what they do. Have they looked at their own children and thought about those results? At the present time, the testing of nuclear weapons is suspended. No, not too well, not forbidden, but only suspended. Let the facts serve as the beginning then. Let the facts serve as the base prohibition of testing, and then for real disarmament. Before we leaving the subject of disarmament, I must make one more comment. To speak of disarmament is good. Seriously, to attend this making of the disarmament, an agreement of implementation of an agreement of disarmament. However, let us be realistic. Even the implementation of the disarmament agreement would not guarantee peace to the sore and troubled world. Peace will come only when the causes of tension and conflict are removed. If there is a cause of conflict, then there will find with pointed sticks if there are no other weapons. I know, because my own nation did that very thing. During our struggle for independence, we fought them with knives and pointed sticks. In order to make peace, we must remove the causes of tension and of conflict. That's why I spoke and glorious of imperialism. When there is imperialism and where there are simultaneously armed forces, then the position is the dangerous one is indeed. Again, I speak from experience. That is the situation in West Irian. That is the situation, the 1/5 of our national territory, which still labors under imperialism. There in West Irian, we have imperialism. In the armed forces of imperialism, boarding the territory, our own troops expand God by land and sea. Those two bodies of troops faces each other, and I tell you, that is an explosive situation. Very recently, those young and misguided troops who were in West Area defending an outmoded conception were forced by an aircraft of the Karel doorman from their removed homeland. I tell you that then the situation became positively dangerous. I tell you in all seriousness, the situation in West Area is a dangerous situation, an explosive situation. It is a cause of tension. It is a threat to peace. General Nasution is not responsible for that. Our soldiers are not responsible for that. Soekarno is not responsible for that. Indonesia is not responsible for that. No, back to peace directly from the very existence, colonialism and imperialism. Remove those texts to freedom of emancipation and the threat to peace disappears. Eradicate imperialism and the world becomes immediately and automatically a cleaner place, a better place, a more secure place. Build the world filled for the dreams and the ideas of humanity. Break now with the past, for the day it's dawning. Break now with the past, so that we can justify ourselves with the future. I pray God Almighty will bless and guide the deliberations of this assembly. I thank you all.